Hello again, YouTube. This is another video, and today this video is a different script than what I usually do. I usually talk about reel-to-reel tape, but I get so many questions about my system and what I listen to, how many records you got, who do you listen to, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of doing this video to answer some of those questions. Um, Mainly, I listen to a lot of stuff. I listen to classical, I listen to R&B, I listen to reggae, I listen to pop, you know. The only thing I don't listen to is country, to be honest. Nothing against country, but they got some good country music. Yes, I agree. And I like the country music. I will listen to the ones that tell stories, you know. Those are the ones I like. They tell stories, you know. Those are really nice. Anyway, uh, and I listen to jazz. I'd say 90% of the time. Um, it's all jazz I listen to. Uh, I listen to some smooth jazz as well, but most of the smooth jazz I listen to are on CD um, or on the radio, like in the background there now. The radio is playing, and it's jazz, but a lot of times you'll get some smooth jazz on it, and I listen to them also. So, nothing against the other genres, but it's mostly jazz I listen to. And in front of my system when I'm listening, I have a stock of record that I listen to. I just stack them up like this. I'll show it to you. See that? And then I will I will pick from the stock and then and then um, and then play. Just in case you didn't see the stock, let me do it again. Okay, that's my stock of record right there. So I will pick from the stock and then just listen. And when I go through this, then I refreshes it. And I must point out that every time I listen to a good record, I put a stamp on it. You know, this tells me that this is a good record. I can listen to it. So a lot of times I go to my shelf, and I no particular person. I just pick one, and just come and play, right? Because if some, I find that if I want to choose one person, I just go flicking and never find anything. But it's all there. So strategy is to put a red sticker on them, and then I go to the shelf and just pick one, pick a red sticker, and I'm good. So on this one, this is a new album here. Emmanuel, what is his name? Emmanuel Wilkins, and this album is awesome. You know, never heard of him before, and he's got another album out, but I listened to it on YouTube, but they have some good tracks, but I'm not feeling it like this one. This one is awesome. And then here's my man Gregory Porter, right? I pretty much have all of his albums. This is just outstanding. I like his vocal. On one of his previous album, he has this song called Harlem, living in Harlem or going back to Harlem or something like that. Man, that track is awesome. I just love it. And then here is another one, Bill Charlap Trio. Right. These ones I'm going through are the Blue Note reissue, classic classic reissue. Those ones that I've gone through. So in no particular order, I'm going through my stack. Artemis is another new artist I just learned about on the Blue Note website, and I listened some clips on it on I think it was Amazon or YouTube or one of them, and I picked it up. awesome. Now, this one I haven't listened to yet, so hence no sticker, But this is another one I have to listen to. This just came in. Now, this is a classic one. Horace Silver Quintet rather. Song for My Father. This is a classic. And this one, Joe Anderson. Wow, this album I can't say you know enough about this album. It's just wicked. Bill Evans. And I haven't listened to this yet. This just came in yesterday, actually. This just came in yesterday. This is who is this? Freddie Hubbard. Ready for Freddie. I've got many of Freddie Hubbard's LP, so I'm pretty much um, sold on him. And here's another Bill Evans. I know this album, and this album is great. This one came in yesterday also. This one is Waltz for Debbie, and this was a fantasy reissue back in 70 something, and this is sealed brand new. It's not used. And so is this one. This one came in yesterday. I listened to this one, and it's just awesome. This one is another Fantasy Studio Berkeley 1990. This was remastered 1990, and this was sealed brand new, in never opened before. Here's another Bill Evans. These are just new album just come in. I haven't listened to them yet. They're in my stock. Now, here we go. Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga. This is the second album I have with these folks. I mean, this album is wicked, just like the first one. Just awesome. I remember like about I'd say in the 90s, I think, 90 something, I'd say 95, 96, when I was living in California. I lived near to Santa Barbara, and there was a reggae concert in the Santa Barbara Bowl. And who was on the ticket? Tony Bennett, jazz singer in a reggae concert. But guess what? He tore the house down, man. He tore it down. I remember right now, Tony Bennett singing in a reggae concert, but he was singing jazz, of course. But the crowd went wild. Here's another favorite of mine, Eva Cassidy. This just came in also. Eva is so awesome, man. This lady has a voice, and she left us too soon. This is like my third album with her. I have. And here's my man, just passed lately, Leonard Cohen. This one is a great album, Live in London. Mackay Tyner, I'm going through this too. Yeah, this one is on. Let's listen to this. Diana Carl, need no introduction, just awesome jazz singer. Yeah. Herbie Hancock, Maiden Voyage. Everyone should have this one in their collection. Awesome. Now. Here we go. Nina Simone, man. I was watching Nina Simone's documentary a couple weeks ago. It was awesome. If you can catch it, I want to say either Netflix or Amazon Prime. I don't remember which one it was on, but that was a nice documentary. Here's another Nina Simone. This one is awesome. I'm just going through my stock. Now, I was listening to, I think it was Sunday morning on CBS, and This group called War and Drugs was on the CBS, and I'm like, wow, these guys sound great. So I went to Amazon and listened to some clips on it, and boom, I bought this one. I read some reviews and everything. This War and Drugs, this is a rock album, but it's awesome. I'm telling you, War and Drugs, and I think this is their first album, but this one should be in everybody's collection. This one is just wicked, just a wicked album, right? You have its sticker right there. I can listen to that anytime. Okay, do you know that for people who are in the into audio, there is a company called Audio. What is it? They're out in Utah, right? And Octave Record, right? This is a jazz album. PS Audio, that's it. They make records also, and this is one of their record, PS Audio. This is a nice album, but I think it kind of a little bit for my taste, a little bit too much bass on it, you know. But of course you can always turn down the bass, you know. But the album is great. Yeah. All right, here is another one. Persuasive Percussion. This is from way back. This is Command Records. I'd never heard of this label before, but this is a great album. Awesome. Here's another Nina Simone. Now, I think this is another. Yes, another PS Audio LP. This one is great, but guess what? I didn't realize this thing was 45 RPM record, and it took me a while to realize that, because I listened to it and I'm like, this thing don't sound right. It don't sound good, you know. It don't sound right, and I'm wondering why the record didn't sound good. And for some reason, I just went up and started look at my system and said, this don't sound right, because you know, I thought it was a 33 RPM, and for some reason I was reading the thing, and way down in the bottom it says 45 RPM. I'm like, what the hell? That's why this thing sounded so crappy on 33. And then I put it on 45 RPM. Boom! All of a sudden, it gets its red sticker. Wicked. My fault anyway, but the thing was too small. Now, here is a British group. I was in Florida a couple months ago, and I was walking through the mall. And you know, when you're in the mall, you hear some house music playing, and you're like, you know, bob your head and move around and buy some more stuff. But anyway, I was walking in the mall down there, and you know, and I heard this tune. Romeo. I'm like, wow, this thing is awesome. So I get the Shazam out, and look, it says jungle, whatever, boom. And I bought the album. I have some really good cuts on it, but Romeo is my favorite on this album. And here's another one I found on CBS Sunday Morning again. Black Puma. They were on Sunday Morning also, and I listened, and I went out and I got this album. This is kind of like a soul R&B retro sound. If you listen to it, it doesn't sound. It sound like you're back in the day. It sounds like the LPs back in the 70s. You know, I mean, back. Right, but it's awesome sound. I don't know, but that's how it sound. You know. That's it, but it's awesome. Now, here is a group that I find to be heating up on YouTube, right? The group is called Dean Jones and the Indications. If you listen to those guys on YouTube, man, I mean, I listen to them and I'm like, wow. Especially the drummer, Aaron Fraser. Wow, that guy got a high-pitched voice, but it sounds so sweet. The lead singer, Duran Jones, he's awesome too. I like his voice. And then I listened to the album, their first album on YouTube. And I'm like, wow, I gotta get this album. Wow, this sounds good. Boom. So I bought the vinyl here, right? I bought it a couple months ago. And then I was so excited to, so I sit down, grab myself a wine and start, put on my turntable and start listening. I'm like, wait a while. Is this the same record I listened to on YouTube? Didn't sound right. So anyway, I bear it and I went through a few tracks. I'm like, this thing sounds terrible. I mean, the vinyl sound terrible, man. I mean, I'm like, I was going to buy the CD to see if the CD sound terrible also. But when I'm listening to it on YouTube, every single track is on point on YouTube coming through that medium. But the vinyl, this one is terrible. I mean, the arrangements is good and all that, but the pressing, it just sounds so bloated. The blaze, it sounds so, some sound high, some sound flat, some sound bloated. It just a terrible pressing. It just terrible. So I have a box that I put all my my rejects into, and this fell into it, right? And then they came out with another album, right? So I'm like, wait a while, should I buy this album? Wonder if it's the same thing like the first one, So I went on YouTube, I listened to it, and I'm like, wow, this thing sounds good. So I'm like, what if? So guess what? I pulled the trigger and I bought it. And I'm telling you, this album compared to this one, I mean, night and day. This is awesome. This is awesome. I can't say enough about this one. It just, I mean, everything on this thing is good. And then guess what? They come up with a third album. So I say, I wonder if it's a miss, But let me give them the benefit of the doubt. And I went out and I pick up this album. It's called what's it called? Private Space. I'm telling you, man, the Private Space. If you can get this album of the three album, this is the one to get. But this one is awesome too. But this Private Space, in my opinion, you just rip it apart. Was so good. Yeah. That's for Dean Jones and the Indicators. They're a real good group. So from time to time I would have some friends of mine. We would all get together and we go to each other's house on the weekend, and we rotate. Come over my house. We have some wine, some beer, pizza, whatever. And we sit down and we listen some vinyl. We listen vinyl all through the evening, and I go to the other person's house and we do the same thing. So one day somebody asked me, man, you got some nice records, everything nice and everything. I say, yeah, it's okay. He says, what's your favorite record? I said, whoa, it's a loaded question. My favorite record? Gee, I don't know. So he says to me, what if something goes wrong and you have to leave your house in a hurry? What would you pick? I'm like, Jesus. He said, which record would you pick? I said, right, which record would I pick? I say, I'd have to pick two records, because they are close to each other in my storage, my rack. So without hesitation, I say, I run and get it. I say, I would certainly grab this one first, That's Hugh Masekela, Hope, right? And then I would grab Kind of Blues, Miles Davis Kind of Blues. So these are the two LP that I would grab, but there's a catch. You see, with Kind of Blues, I have I have 4 copies of it, Kind of Blues, right? I have this one, and this one is like a test pressing. Someone gave it to me. It's a test pressing. It says Miles Davis Kind of Blue original version, classic records, right? Got this one, right? And then I have this one, the UHQR from Acoustic Sounds, right? And I have Miles Davis from Mobile Fidelity, right? So which one would I grab? You know, I have to figure out which one would I grab. So I leave it up to you to decide. Which one would you grab? But I certainly would grab this one and one of these, period. All right, that's interesting. Vinyl collecting is fun. I remember back in the day when I first started, I would just go to the vinyl store and just, like, kid in a candy store, and start just buy record, just buy, I'm like, then it reached to a point where I said, wait a while, I'm just buying record. It don't make no sense, just zeroing on the things. So I started making a list, and I listened to people on YouTube, like Michael Framer and a lot of other jazz people, and listen to their recommendation on jazz music, and that's how I started simmer down my collection, and start to get some real good stuff, as opposed to just a load of stuff, you know what I mean? So for people who are just getting into it, just take your time and just um, uh, do some research and find out which ones are good, and you might go in you might have a list and go inside the record store, and you look through, or you ask the attendant to help you, and they might not have any of those records. But don't be despair, they're out there. You can check Discogs or eBay or Amazon or somewhere, but those records are out there. And that's what I've been doing. I've been just, I have my list, and I go through my list, methodically, write down my list, and see what. That's how I start buying records. But back in the day, man, I just jump in the $1 bin. But the $1 bill, the $1 bin, I do find some real gems in that thing, you know. Yeah. And then I've had instances where I jump into the $1 bill, right, and I find this gem for like $1, $1.50 or whatever, and then I go to the regular rack, same record for like 10, 15, $20. I'm like, whoa, did I make a mistake here or what? So I make sure, tell the guy, hey, look, this is from the $1 bin, you know. And I say this, and I say this again. My favorite place to buy a record is Japan. I say it again, Japan is the best place to buy vinyl, especially jazz. I'm telling you, those guys, they don't mess around. You go in the store, you ain't gonna see no raggedy, scratch up disc and all that stuff. They clean all of them records, man. Nice, nice cover and everything, They are used records, but in excellent shape. And they got some real good stuff, So, so yeah, keep on collecting vinyl, man. And I hope you find what you're looking for in vinyl, because if I hear a song, I always find out, is this on vinyl? Boom, yeah, it's on vinyl. Yeah, so that's about it. Today I'll be listening to some reggae music. I like to during the week. This is my routine. After work, I will if I'm listening to tape. I have days when I listen to tape, and but with genre, even if it's on tape, I listen to jazz throughout the week, from jazz Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? Friday is when I listen to reggae music. Saturday, I listen to R&B and rock and everything else. Sunday, I take the day off. Listen, watch some the Gunners play, and Liverpool. But the Gunners is my second team. Liverpool, Arsenal, and Tottenham are my team. I like Leicester City, and I also like Southampton, right? So that's what I do on Sunday. No record, no music, just strictly football, international football, international football, world football. That's the one I watch. You know, so AKA soccer. That's what I watch. Yeah. So that's my routine on my records, and then if I do go to the used record store, come home and I drop it in my ultrasonic cleaner, clean them up, and take a listen. Yeah. So anyway, that's about it for today. I hope um, I share some of my vinyl experience with you, and especially about collecting records. Oh, one other thing. For people who are collecting vinyl, make sure you have a database on your phone, so that you can put all your records in that database, because if you don't, you will end up buying the same record over and over again. It happened to me. I would go out and I would buy record, you know, during those rush when I would just buy everything. I just buy. I come home, I'm like, what the hell? I have two copies of this already. I've got one copy, So I got this database and I put everything on it. I put genre, where I bought it, how much I paid for it, everything about the record is right there. So in one glance, I go into the store. I say, let me see if I have this. Boom, boom, boom. Oh hell yeah, I have that already. Move on. Yeah. So for people who are collecting vinyl, that's one tip. Get a database on your phone and keep track of your records, so you don't have to spend extra money buying, you know, more than one record. I mean, one record more than once. Okay, YouTube. It's almost reggae time, so I'm gonna string up. I think I'll listen to some reel to reel today, and that's about it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. All right, bye.